When we talk about information security, we mean the physical protection of information from loss and change. So for example, a data breach is a security breach. The information has been lost. Privacy is the appropriate use and application of information. And there is a linkage between information security and privacy. For example, if I'm a bad person and I steal data, I hack into a system and steal data, my intent is to use that information for inappropriate purposes. So there's a linkage between security and privacy, and they go together. In the United States, we pretty much have free permission to do that, to explore the data, to understand what the data tells us. In Europe, you need to have a legal basis to process data, and the understanding of data is a processing. So there is friction between many of the modern ways we use data and the way traditional data protection law that dates from the 1970s actually thinks about that issue. The Europeans have been pioneers in data protection law. They've been on a dual course with the United States and in places like Australia and Canada in this process of understanding effective data protection law for about 40 years now. It's a 40-year process. And the nature of information processing has changed over that 40 years. Increasingly, we're seeing privacy enforcement agencies bridge their differences so that they can cooperate together. Some of that is done through the OECD, some of it is done through other international organizations. But in the United States, our Federal Trade Commission has understandings with regulators in Europe, in Canada, in Mexico, in the Asia-Pacific region that allows them to work together to protect consumers in this global marketplace. In the United States, we think about the right to seclusion that individuals have that are linked to our Fourth Amendment. In Europe, we think about privacy as a fundamental right linked to our personhood. Well, the fact is that there's a real common thread for both the right to seclusion that exists in the United States and the right to have privacy as a fundamental right that you see in Europe. They come from the same root, they have the same function, but the words are different, and we need to get beyond the words and see the functionality of what we're trying to achieve.